picking up from where we left off last time, we now have all of our blog posts displaying on the page. Now, say if you have over 100 blog posts, you don't want all 100 posts displayed on the main page. Your page will get extremely long, unreadable, and it will look sloppy. So let's create some pagination to just limit the amount of posts that we want on the page, and then provide links to continue viewing more. And we're going to do this all dynamically on one page. Okay? So the first thing we need to do is to get a record count of our database. Okay, so let's just do record count equals db query select all from post. Okay. Alright, so now we got to figure out the amount of posts that we want to display on our page. So amount for this example, I'm just going to go ahead and do per page equals 2. Why am I using just 2? Because I only have 4 blog posts in our database. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 2. Alright. Since we're doing this dynamically in one page, we got to figure out where we're going to start. So let's figure out where we're going to start. And since we're doing this dynamically, that means if we go into here, it's going to be generated through the URL. So we're going to be doing like p equals 1. So that will be our starting point. So let's just go ahead and do something like, actually, you know what? We got to figure out what page we are on. So let's go ahead and just do if statement. Here we're going to do get page number. So if is set get p, and I'm going to add this also, and is numeric get p, then page equals get p. Okay, close that out. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're checking to see if this is set and also if it's numeric. So why we're checking if it's numeric, because we want to make sure that the page number is a number. So if it's not a number or it's not set, we're going to go ahead and set the page to equal, let's just set it to equal to 1. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to need to figure out the starting point, because what's going to happen is, to do the pagination, we're doing this from the database. So if we go down here into our query where we're displaying the information. It's going to be brought out through the limit, and it will be start per page. So this would be like 0, 2. So now we got to figure out how what that starting point actually is. So if page is less than or equal to 0, start will equal 0. Else start equals, let's do this, page times per page minus per page. Okay. We got to figure out also the number of pages. So let's just do this right here. Okay. So pages will, here, okay, make sure I commented this. Okay, so pages will equal to seal, which takes it. This would round up like integers to the next highest integer. So like say if, like what we're going to use it for is record count rows divided by per page. Okay. So say if this was what this would equal to, like the number of rows divided by the per page was something like 10.3. It will make this number, the page is 11. Okay. So that's important. I just forgot to add that in there. Okay. All right. So we set the we created the start and the per page. So let's go into Firefox. Hit enter. Forgot to save it. Refresh. Okay. See, error on line number 7. Okay, figured out had a problem. This has to be right above that. Okay. So if we refresh. Okay, so remember we're figuring out our next page by going p equals 2. There we go. So now that okay, so now we need to add some links to the bottom of our page. Okay, so let's set them up here. We need a previous, okay, which we equal to. Let's see what we can make these equal to. Will be page minus 1. Okay, and the next will equal to page plus 1. Okay. So what this is going to do is take the value for page, and then we'll add 1 or subtract 1 from it in the URL. So let's go down here at the end of our while loop. We'll do this after the while loop because we don't want it to be part of the blog post. So let's do if previous is greater than 0, echo, actually let's put some braces around this, echo a href equals index.php question mark p equals previous. Okay, and then we'll just do previous. Okay. Now for the next button, it's going to be a little bit more complex. It would be something like page. If page is less than actually be less, not more difficult because we already did the math before to set pages. So it'll just be like if page is less than pages, then echo. Let's go ahead and just copy this and change this to next. And this to next. Save that. Oh, actually, we need to close that out. Save that. Oh, need that. Let's save. Okay. Refresh. Why isn't... Okay, I figured out what I did wrong. Forgot to add the apostrophes at the end of the href. So save that. Refresh. Okay, so we got the next button. We didn't get the previous button because there's no... This is the starting point of our record count. So therefore, or our pages. So there's nothing to display. So if I click next, now we got to the ending point. So if there was more records, there would still be a next. But since there's no more records after this, the next disappears and the previous shows back up. Okay, so page would equal 1. All right, so that's it for this part of the tutorial. We're gonna go ahead and set up the commenting system and displaying the full post on its own separate page in the next part. Okay, don't forget to comment, give us a like, maybe a favorite, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.